Welcome to B2B with Randy and Craig, where we speak to local entrepreneurs and learn about their journey. Welcome to B2B, where we discuss the rise, the falls,
and the kick in the...
We're not going there. We're not going there.
Every week.
I tell you, it's a family show. All right, my name is Randy, and I'm with
Craig from That's a Wrap Productions.
And we have a special guest today. We have Ted Panebianco.
There you
from
go.
College Hunks Moving Junk. First question we got to ask you, Ted. Why junk removal and moving? He mumbled.
Honestly, it has nothing to do with junk removal and moving. I have a few different businesses, College Hunks, hauling junk and moving being the star of the portfolio. But it's about people.
It's about helping people?
It's always been about people. It's about, and junk removal and moving just became the vehicle that took off for me.
So your driving force is helping people. That's your entrepreneurial goal.
Yeah, my purpose, absolutely, is helping people. And that starts in our building. I've had the privilege of helping thousands at this point over the last decade, young men and women develop.
Right.
You know, it's not about just teaching the trade. We're teaching, sales, marketing, customer service. We're going as far as, literally first aid training, teaching people, shake someone's hand, look in their eyes, introduce yourself. So,
right, how to handle yourself.
Everything.
In the business world.
Yeah. How to fill out an envelope. Because
so
people
important.
don't do that in school anymore. So, a lot of basic stuff, financial stuff as far as financial education, trying to just help
people better
grow.
themselves.
And then the other side of it's the community. For years before we ever made any money personally, we still had service to our community baked into the plan. So
that's beautiful. You don't hear that every day.
No.
That's for sure.
No.
So let me ask you. A young person comes in to be a driver.
Yeah.
Is there a path for them to be much more than that? Not that being a driver is, if that's your goal and that's what you, that's great, but maybe somebody aspires for more. Is there a path?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what I really got attached to in College Hunks was one of our core values, building leaders.
I thought he was going to say the jacket. But all right, we'll come back to that.
Not the
jacket. It's a spiffy jacket.
Building leaders is one of our 4 core values, and it's certainly my favorite. It's the one that I was really attached to. All of our managers, with the exception of one, start at the lowest level of our team.
So
Every single one
your
of
team
them.
is all self-grown?
Yes.
Except for one person?
Yeah, one person who's in an EA office manager type role.
Wow.
Gotcha. So,
and how many, can I ask what your employee count is?
Yeah, so we will range anywhere from 140 to 220 employees. So in the summer months, we'll go well over 200. And the lowest will be is probably in that 150 range.
So how did the name College Hunks hauling junk come to be? Were you in college when you started this?
So it wasn't me. College Hunks is a franchise nationwide. So there's 200 locations. We're the largest location, and my partner helped start it with the founders. So it was 2 guys, Nick and Omar, and they were in DC. And it was actually Omar's mom who said, hey, she owned a furniture store and she had some van and she was like, you guys got to get out in the summer and do something.
It should have been called a mom in College Hunks, right?
and she came up with the name. She said, you guys could be the College Hunks who haul junk.
Wow.
Oh, that is fantastic.
And it kind of grew from there. So Steven, Nick, and Omar, Steven's my partner, essentially when they decided to franchise, went down to Tampa because that was a good place for call centers and got going and built it from there.
So the corporate headquarters is in Tampa.
Yes.
And your territory is?
We serve all of Long Island and greater New York City, so Brooklyn, Queens.
So every time I see the truck, by the way, your trucks have the fake arm posted on the side. It fakes me out every time. They always hire some strong guys. But I guess so when we see all those orange trucks, those green orange trucks, that's
me. Yeah, it was important for me. They don't typically give a large territory like this. Steven's involvement in the brand helped us get what we wanted, but I didn't want someone in Port Jefferson ruining my reputation in Huntington.
Right.
I just wasn't interested if we weren't going to be able to take everything. I wanted College Hunks in New York to be introduced by us and to be us and to have our values.
Love it.
And to make sure that anyone knew whether you were going to use us or you're going to work for us, this is who you worked for and this is what it's about. And to go back to what you said before, what you asked before, which was that building leaders component and that path, yes, all of our managers started as lowest level, and our COO started with us 12 years ago, 6 months into the business, Eric Natali, and I mean, he's changed my life.
Wow.
He's amazing.
What,
but
and he came in as a driver?
Started as a wingman.
As a wingman.
No one can come in as a driver. So you're coming in and you're learning how to be a helper on a truck.
Well, so walk me through that real quick, because I think that's important. And people are going to be amazed. What does that mean, learn how to be a helper? People think you learn how to be a helper. Yeah, just be careful and don't hurt yourself lifting things. That's not what you mean by that.
No, that's not everything. You know, I'll just walk you through, you know, Eric's path really to talk about him. But you're coming in, you're applying for the job, you are now going through a rigorous training over a week time before you go out and do out of the office training. So we're not going to allow you, Randy, you've been to my office, there's a training home in the back. We're not going to allow you to go into someone else's home until you kind of learn how to rap, learn how to do things in
I'm not going to let you belittle that. He has rooms set up in the facility to mimic a small bedroom, a small kitchen area, because they have to wrap the furniture, carry it through doorways. So they have to learn how to maneuver things so they're not scratching your home. He has the back of a truck or a storage unit set up in there so your furniture doesn't get damaged. That's huge.
Right.
You're passing by it, but I got to make a big deal out of it.
No, thank you. I mean, it's a big part of what we do, because let's mess up our walls, floors, ceilings, not yours, right? So we'll go through that. So you're going through that process. Then you're going to be on the truck with a seasoned, we call them captains. Those are our drivers. They're running the day.
Wait. You put them through this like demo of like the rooms and whatnot, right? But do you put them like through real life situations now? Okay, release the dog.
Yeah, I mean,
they do rainstorms.
Look, we go as far as having obstacle courses where you're having to maneuver through cones, and if you hit a cone, you got to do it over. And guys don't want to be doing it over when they're carrying heavy furniture, right? So
you know, the cone could be the puppy. So to speak. I got it.
We put them through a lot, honestly, to make sure, one, you really want this job, because it's going to be hard to do this every single day. Our guys work really, really hard. And two, that you're capable, right? So, and it will also give our trainers a good idea. Are you a fit for our moving team, or are you a fit for our junk removal team? Because they're essentially separate.
Correct.
And you probably get a little inside the guy's head or the woman's head. This is somebody we could see moving up.
Yeah, that comes probably a little bit later. You know, you start to get a feel for someone, how they run a team. Our captains, you know, we're trying to create tomorrow's leaders, right? So our captains,
isn't that the motto? What
one of them, you know, is let tomorrow's leaders haul your junk or move you today.
So I say let my kids do it, but
So
I wouldn't trust mine.
For us, it's really all about helping somebody grow, and we'll see where that goes, right? So we have a sales center also. So we have people that come in and work in our sales center and take our phone calls and do all that. So there's entry-level positions there as well as on the trucks. But you notice
Ted didn't call it a call center.
No.
It's not a call center. There's a big difference between a call center and a sales center. When you call College Hunks, they can give you answers.
Right.
They're not holding information to send it to somebody. You're getting your questions answered by trained staff.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone works for us and is local in our business. They know how to say Ronkonkoma.
I was about to say, they know where Ronkonkoma is.
Yeah, they know how far it's going to take. That 8 miles isn't necessarily 8 minutes where we live. So it was really important for us to have that as part of our business, and we're not cold calling anybody. We're only talking to you if you came and gave us interest.
And how are people finding you? Through, I'm assuming, Google, or is it goodwill in the brand at this point?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's different now than it was when we started. When we started this business on credit cards. I mean, we had no money. I was completely broke. I had another business that didn't work out. I mean, it was I was moving to another state to adopt my son while I had a home somewhere else. I mean, everything we did was totally.
Can you juggle?
Everything.
Yeah. So you brought up a good point. I think you said you've been doing this for about 12 years now. 12.
Yeah, it's be 13 years. So actually, just past 13 years.
I'm assuming that there have been advances in technology and whatnot that have helped your efficiency for your business exponentially. So what would you have wish you had when you first started that you don't have now? Is there like a kind of
and you can't say experience?
No money. money. I had no money. I mean, we started the business on credit cards, and you know what we did to get it going was guerrilla marketing. It was dropping those signs you saw all over Long Island that we don't really do as much anymore.
But you told me something about the signs. I'm going to interrupt you. There's a way you can guerrilla market, just put the signs out, but you measured the success of the signs.
Yeah, we measured the success of the signs, but we also, it wasn't just the signs, right? It was the sign in the neighborhood that you were doing a job with. It was seeing the truck, which is a big billboard.
Right.
When our guys would stop for lunch, they had to do a truck wave. So you'd literally park the big, truck in, a corner and be waving at people with the big orange hand.
Brilliant.
So anything just to bring attention to the brand, door hangers, all kinds of stuff. Door hangers kind of went away in COVID and we just didn't bring them back. But there were different things that we did then when we couldn't afford Google, we couldn't afford radio. When we first
grassroots.
Yeah, and I still believe in it. I think everyone should do it. We called it Zigma, which was zip code. Oh gosh, what was it now? We made a zip code influence guerrilla marketing assault. And that was kind of the word we used. Do your Zigma all the time,
right.
And it was really important. And it grew us, to a multi-million-dollar company before we ever got into any other sort of media.
And for people listening, this started. College Hunks wasn't you started grassroots, built the brand. And here we are today.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is giving back to the community. And I love building the leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody to, maybe they didn't go to college. They think their life's going to be only moving junk, but work hard, work smart, follow the procedures. There's an opportunity for growth. There's never a glass ceiling.
Right. If you're just tuning in to the WBAB or Apple, Spotify, wherever you're getting your podcast, we're sitting here with Ted Panebianco from College Hunks hauling junk.
Good.
That's me. I mean, you mentioned building leaders and all that. Eric, our COO, didn't finish college. I mean, he started with us $8 an hour, wingman on the truck, worked his way up, did every position, saw every good and bad. I mean, everything that ever happened bad, Eric somehow had to deal with.
Right.
And he continued to prove himself, and now he's telling you, he's doing a lot better than some of his friends that maybe went through college and whatever else. And he leads the team, 100% leads the operation. Truly incredible building. And
he didn't see
story.
that. He didn't walk into the building with that goal.
Luckily, he believed in us,
in the brand once he met you.
But he didn't. He'll say sometimes that he was like, I felt like I was walking into Amazon, and it was like so great because that's not what we had.
Right.
We had parents, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, going, "What are you doing? Like, why are you working here?" Yeah. I mean, I hired the first 6 guys. We were sitting on paint cans, and I was painting the office myself. Right. So incredible. It was. It's very different now than it was then. I mean, you mentioned Google before. College Hunks is a keyword on Google now. It's on Long Island at least. So
that's great.
So you do start to build the brand in that sort of way, and there's good and bad to being a keyword. It costs more money now, but it's
you are. But I'll tell you something else, which is really cool. We're on WBAB, and does that get recorded in the College Hunks Moving Junk Facility Studios? It's incredible. The studios, for God's sakes. I have another question, Eric.
Yes.
Your CEO. I would love to have him on. His entrepreneurial journey, people can touch also. To be an entrepreneur doesn't mean you had to be the founder of the business. He took a different path. He recognized the opportunity and just believed in you guys. Through hard work, facing the challenges, he built a career for himself.
Yes.
So that's a different journey, but that's still entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is a partner now.
He's a partner
in the company. Yeah. He
that's
earned
awesome.
that in his 10th year when he became the COO. We
Did you give him an option? Do you want to watch or do you want?
No, he got both.
Oh, he got one. Nice. Nice. Did he get the jacket?
Yeah. He got the jacket at 5 years. He got his 10-year jacket too, which is a different jacket, and him and I will get our championship ring together when we hit our 15.
Next is the belt.
There you go.
Right?
Maybe that's 20 years.
Yeah, it's a 20-year belt.
Something to look forward to.
I mean, Eric, absolutely. He put in his own time to make sure he was ready. What my and Steven's mantra always is, we're not ready. We don't know how to be a $5 million or a $10 million or $100 million company yet, so we better keep growing. And no one who can be a manager or leader cannot have a growth mindset. You better have a growth mindset. You better keep going.
Right.
And when Eric got the role of director of operations, we told him, look, we're on a fast path to growth here.
Right.
We just want to be transparent.
You're pedal to the metal. You guys...
we love you. We want to be transparent. We may have to hire someone in between us at some point to help us get to us to the next level. There's stuff we all don't know.
Experience and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and that little fire under him, and he started spending nights, weekends, watching podcasts, reading books,
That's
doing
not happening.
YouTube.
No.
I mean, just did it all on his own. That wasn't something he had to do. And then we also invested in his growth by having him join an EO, having him...
Let's say what EO is. People don't know what it is.
It's an entrepreneurs organization that Randy and I both happen to be in with our companies and our team. Global, 19,000 members. Nice. Really, really amazing. Really amazing organization.
And he had the opportunity to get that exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. So all different things. We brought him to conferences. We were an Inc. 5000 company, 5 years in a row. So there were some different things. So we were able to take him and expose him to these different things. And we just, anywhere Steven and I went to grow, we brought Eric with us.
Well, you were smart. You had a vision. You knew who he was going to be.
Yeah, now he's with Cameron Herald in the COO Alliance, which is like a crazy COO Alliance. You have to get accepted into it. So he's he's a badass. He really is.
Yeah. I love it.
You brought up the fact that, you're a parent and you obviously run a very successful business.
Yeah.
So I love to
Eric does. I'm not.
Eric does. Eric does.
How do you guys juggle being a parent and running a business?
Yeah, it's a really great question, and it's not perfect, right? I've messed up plenty of times over 13 years. I mean, my son has grown up his entire life in our business.
How old is...
I adopted him, and he, 3 months before I opened College Hunks.
Wow. So it's his life.
I mean, I mean, he was in cars driving up from Florida because that's where we lived at the time, New York. I had to move to Pennsylvania because that's where he was born, to get all that done.
He's not a Philadelphia Eagle fan, is he?
No, he's
I had to just ask that. We can continue.
He's a New Yorker, and we love the Rangers. We're hockey fans. But
it's a decent question. You understand.
I just made half of Long Island hate me. They're Islander fans, but
ignore him. But Steven loves the Islanders, so it's a balance. I got you.
So anyway, to your point though, having good people and having good leaders is really what allowed us to be good parents. Also, I didn't want to miss anything my son was doing. I knew I was probably having one child, and that was my shot. And it goes quickly. He's 16 years old now.
The days are fast, but the days are slow, but the years are fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just gets faster, right? It just, as life moves, we all know that. So, our son has always been our first priority, and we were never afraid to share in the money, right? We wanted to build other leaders and managers, and a lot of entrepreneurs hold on because they can't afford it, or they don't want to spend the money, but they really don't want to give up any money.
They don't want to give it up.
No. They don't want to give up any money. And for us, we were okay taking less and sharing, and knowing that eventually, if we all grew together, that we'd be on the top of that mountain, and it would be good for us as well. And, I mentioned earlier, Eric changed our life. Eric changed our life. He allows me to be a great dad. And quite frankly, he has such a good team of managers now. He's a dad and a stepdad, and he's able to do it.
Is your son learning the tricks of the trade to kind of either take over or...
I don't think he has much interest in it. But he's,
wait, like you say, he's a teenager. You never know.
He's young right now. We're involved in a few businesses, and one of them that we got involved in was because one of the reasons was we thought he may have some interest in doing that later on.
That's smart. Yeah. He'll have options, but in the meantime, he's learning work ethic. He's learning from you and Steven how important it is to give back, not only to the community, but to your employees, not to take it all in, give. Yeah. Because let's face it, I remember you said to me once, you talked about how important it is that the drivers and the wingmen are compensated and treated fairly. They're the face of the company.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not seeing Ted when I call College Hunks. I'm seeing whoever that wingman is. I'm seeing the hunk. Hopefully, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not about them. It is about the hunks. And Hunks stands for honest, uniform, nice, knowledgeable service.
You hear that, Christina? That's my wife. I wanted to know. That's what Hunks stands for.
I had no idea.
It's it's not. It's a catchy name, but it does have a meaning, and it's part of our. It's really our brand promise.
Right.
You're going to get honest, uniform, nice, knowledgeable service.
I had no idea.
awesome.
I got to ask my $1 million
service.
question now. Right? You ready for this one?
I want to hear it.
At home, are you moving stuff all around the house? Is that a thing?
No, I've actually never been a part of a move or a junk removal job. It was I have gone to one of each based on just doing it for managers that wanted me to go.
It's like Matt from Simon Grumman who doesn't cut.
What I'm going to do one time, I'm going to ask Ted if you can go there. I don't want to see you move furniture through
with my
loading
back.
gate. But here's what's going on. We're going to wrap up because you and I and Craig could talk all day. I can't thank you enough for coming down. I hope that your entrepreneurial story sparks in somebody. I can tell you it has for me. I enjoy talking with you personally, on a podcast, lunch, whatever it is. Thank you for coming down. And how do people get a hold of College Hunks?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me. Look, you can find College Hunks on Google. You can see us on our trucks, but it really is about the hunks. You guys brought that up before, and it's about service to the community. We donate 2 meals for every single job we do. Junk removal and moving.
Say that one more time.
We donate 2 meals for every job we do. It's our Hunks Against Hunger campaign.
Incredible.
And we're trying to grow that with Island Harvest.
Beautiful.
Wow.
We support Pink Aid Long Island and Making Strides for breast cancer. And that was something that came to us from a hunk who had a mom who had breast cancer 10 years ago, and we knew how much it meant to so many people. So it is about the hunks, and it's about the community we serve. It will never be about Ted, Steven, Eric, or any of us. And that's who we are. So
that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're removing junk, you're moving out of your house.
College
one
Hunks.
move, 2 meals.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
So from B to B with Randy and Craig, that's a wrap.
Oy.
Thank you for tuning in to B2B with Randy and Craig. Looking forward to hanging with you next week.